Well, good morning, my lovelies, and it is such a good morning indeed. You know why? Because today I get to be selfish. Today I am making over a room that is totally just about me. A space that you guys have seen a lot and can definitely use some snazzing up, so buckle up for one of my classic vlogs. We've got thrift finds and thrift flips, fun creative DIYs, some painting projects too, and we actually have to head out on our first little mission, but of course a nice coffee has to come with me. So let's make one salted caramel latte to go. You see this? This right here is exactly what I need to keep me energized for today's mission. Like I said, we are going to be tackling a space in the home that is totally me. It is fully Haley's corner. What do I mean by that? This is the space where you guys may have seen me do a lot of my clothing try-on hauls. It is my little office, the place where I'm always finding myself getting creative with putting together fashion outfits, doing some late night editing, or even just coming up with future vlog ideas just like this one. I have actually started this makeover back when I was pregnant. I took you guys along with me. Yes, I was pregnant, putting up beadboard, painting, and this is basically where we're at and what the room is looking like as of now. Super bland and boring, especially when it comes to the top half of this room. I want this place to like ooze with cottagecore charm while still being super practical. We need a desk to go right over there. The only things I know in this room I pretty much want to keep are the rug, the chair, and then this mirror over here. We've got my clothing rack that truly, you guys can see, it's like bent out of shape at this point. I've had this thing with me through and through, and I constantly need a clothing rack because of how much like fashion stuff I do here. So I did pick up 3 different ones and not knowing which of them I'm actually going to use. So we're going to get that built today too, as well as getting to do a really fun creative DIY for the top half of this space, which is actually the first thing we're going to tackle. Something this room desperately is asking for is some much needed color. And while I was going back and forth on if I should wallpaper the top half of this room, I actually think I want to try a little simpler, much cheaper DIY that will hopefully pay off. And if it doesn't, we could just cover it up later. We've got a lot on the list to do today. I have a grocery haul with Thrive Market coming up later too, who are partnering with me on today's video. So that is why today's coffee is to go. The store is awaiting and I can't wait to get started. So let's get going. And this is just some of the arrivals for today's office. Can't forget that. Hey Siri, take me to the nearest Hobby Lobby.
Getting directions.
Let's go! Okay, so just parked outside of Hobby Lobby, and you guys may be wondering what it is that I am doing here. Basically, guys, here is a mood board of what I'm wanting this office to look like. I definitely want to add in more color, and a color specifically that I want to throw around a lot is blue. If you watched my playroom makeover, you would have seen that I did the girls' playroom pretty much entirely in blue, and I love it. And I actually had an idea. I have so many of those leftover blue paint samples in like little tins that I'm like, you know, I don't want them to go to waste. So I was thinking that I would try a DIY that I've seen before. This is basically what I'm talking about. I mentioned it a couple of times, but I saw that a creator actually came to Hobby Lobby and picked up a stamp, a flower stamp, and used it to actually stamp on a pattern on her wall. Then when you're finished, you take a step back, it looks like genuine wallpaper. If it ends up working out, then this can be an ultimate hack for you guys who want to add some pattern to your walls, but you don't want to splurge on wallpaper because wallpaper is expensive. This is just one of those stores where it's so easy to get distracted here, but gotta stay focused. Stamps. We are here for stamps. Okay, we made it. Here's their entire stamp section. I didn't even realize what would happen if I can't find the stamp that I'm looking for. Oh, yay! Perfect. I think I'm actually gonna take 2 because instead of constantly washing one, I think I'm gonna alternate between 2 different shades of blue. But I'm so happy that I found it. They have some other pretty ones as well, but I do like how this one is like distinct and big. It'll visually look much nicer on the wall. Whew, you guys, the restraint that took. Just picked up 2 of those little stamps. I'm telling you, Hobby Lobby has so much cute stuff when it comes to home decor, and they have great sales too. Like they literally have 50% off on home decor right now. But as you guys know, I always try to thrift my home decor and everything first. So that is actually going to be a goal for me today. Once like the basis of the room is ready, I want to go ahead and thrift some fun decor for it. just made it back home. These sodas, guys, how many times have I mentioned them at this point? I have been so obsessed with these Culture Pops. They are basically a prebiotic soda and just the best flavors ever. This is the wild berries and lime, and they're just so refreshing. I am not one of those people that actually like sodas because most sodas are just so sweet for me, but these ones are like the perfect amount of like being slightly sweet, but they're also tangy, and they have no added sugar. This is literally sweetened with actual grape juice. But anyway, you guys, I just made it back home. I have everything for the room, which I am so excited to get to. I just have a feeling that this wallpaper is gonna turn out so well. The one thing that I did tell myself though is that today's actually Friday, and if you guys don't know, I am an observant Jew, and we actually do Friday night dinner, which is Shabbat dinner, where this week specifically, we're actually hosting 3 other couples and their kids to have Shabbat dinner. And for those of you who have been following along for a while, you know that I am somebody who loves to host and I love cooking. So I told myself that I already want to start doing like some of the food prep and everything right now. And then while that's cooking in between, I can do the wallpaper in the room. So I thought it would be really fun to actually take you guys along with me in doing a full Shabbat prep, along with baking too. So I'm gonna be making a bunch of stuff from scratch today. We're gonna be making bread, we're gonna be making salads, dips, main courses, appetizers. And I thought that it would be really fun to share it with you so you can kind of get an idea of all the cooking and all the prep that I do whenever we host friends, guests, or family for Shabbat. Think Christmas dinner. You know how everybody gets like super crazy and making a bunch of stuff for like the holidays? This is something that we do weekly. There is nothing like coming together with people that you love, making good food, and chatting away about your week. So if you're interested to see all these things that I'm gonna make here, starting with bread, let's get started. So something I've taken upon myself this year is to start baking our own challah bread. It is a known Jewish recipe that people tend to make specifically for Shabbat. It is a bread that is slightly sweet, super fluffy, and often baked in a 3-strand braid. This is the first thing I always like to do on Shabbat because when you're preparing your dough, you want to let it sit for a couple of hours for it to rise as much as possible so that it could get super airy and fluffy. And then once the bread has risen, this is the point where you can actually go and start making it. There's actually a ritualistic part of this as well. Women to be making bread for Shabbat is actually considered something that is super holy and very spiritual. This is a time for prayer and a time especially to connect with God. There's a blessing that I say where I actually separate one piece of bread that we are not allowed to eat, and then when it comes to the rest of the bread, this is where I go and shape it into our 3-strand challah. While baking this, I take the time to truly connect with God. I'm praying for myself, for my family, praying for people who are looking to get pregnant or are looking to find their significant other, people who are struggling financially. I keep them in mind. I say all of their names. So not only is this a yummy bread to eat on Shabbat, but it's definitely special and meaningful too. I always like experimenting, trying out fun appetizers whenever we are hosting. This one was at my husband's request. He sent me a video for these crispy taco burgers that are actually super easy to prepare. So I slightly pan fried those and crisped them up so that they could be ready. And I'm gonna serve it with some toppings on the side, like lettuce, tomatoes, some sauces too, and pickles, of course. And personally, our Shabbat table is not complete without just some Moroccan fish. And let me tell you this, I'm not Moroccan, okay? But the spiced fish, I feel like every single Jewish woman has a variation of it, which basically in a nutshell is just salmon that is simmered in this amazing spice sauce. That is actually what I find so beautiful when it comes to Jewish people. I mean, you could find Jewish people in all walks of life, just like many other religions. Everybody has a different background, different culture, different look, different ethnicity. If you guys actually don't know, my parents are from Uzbekistan, so we are Bukharian Jews, and within our culture, we definitely have some Persian roots, but then because Uzbekistan was part of the Soviet Union back then, my parents also speak Russian, and I also speak Russian. And this is the beautiful thing about our Shabbat table. No matter who we invite, you can always be sure that it is a mix of people through all walks of life, bringing their culture and their food and their energy into our home. It's a beautiful thing. Whew, I am seriously breaking a sweat. We got a couple things in the oven right now, which gives me a moment to breathe. I'm so sad my soda's already done. I had to stock up on more of these because these are my absolute favorite flavors. Some of them I'm gonna put on our dinner table tonight too because I hooked so many of my friends onto it. If you like Poppy or any of those like prebiotic drinks, the cheapest I've been able to find them is on Thrive Market, and the girls are gonna be so excited because I actually stocked up on a bunch of snacks for me and Eran as well. If you guys are not familiar with Thrive Market, I've been a paying subscriber myself for the last 2 years. Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store that has some of the best products that they literally deliver right to your doorstep. I do these grocery deliveries about once a month or once every other month, basically restocking healthy snacks, cereals, produce, anything that I am missing in my pantry, but I want the high quality, healthier versions of. I am not kidding when I tell you that I got my mother-in-law into this, my sister into this. Everybody's ordering from Thrive Market now. My kids have such a sweet tooth, for example, so instead of giving them a regular candy or snacks, I give them snacks that taste good, but they're also better for them. Fruit roll-up, but it is made of 100% fruit. Nothing else, no preservatives, no additives. They're like so fun to eat, and they come in like a bunch of different flavors too. They basically recreate a bunch of the candies and snacks that you know and love, but the healthier versions. And I'm not kidding when I say that Thrive Market has healthier alternatives for everything that you love. Like this Chosen Foods chocolate hazelnut spread tastes just like Nutella, but it is made with avocado oil, organic ingredients, and so much less sugar than the original. And even with cereal, we never buy conventional regular cereals anymore. These ones are such a good alternative for Reese's cereal. These are an organic, healthier version of corn pops. They literally taste the same. They just have a better ingredients list. Because I keep kosher, every single product I get has to have this little symbol on it, either an OUD or a circle K. Thrive Market filters everything out for me so that I know whatever shows up on the page is something that I am able to get, or any kind of diet, whether it be a keto diet, gluten-free, anything like that. They will filter out every single product on their website to accommodate your needs. I'm gonna get you guys on Thrive Market and you are gonna love me so much for it. You can click the link in the description below or go to thrivemarket.com/haleyscorner to get 30% off your first Thrive Market order, plus a free gift when you join Thrive Market. Health food stores seem so expensive, but Thrive Market is so affordable. They're also the first online retailer to accept Snappy BT. So I'm gonna put a couple more of these in the fridge right now, a snack on a little bit of candy while everything keeps baking, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, moving on to our main meat courses, I'm gonna be making some lemony chicken and potatoes. This recipe is so yum. I found it on Instagram, which if you guys are curious where I actually get most of my recipes, it is either saved in an Instagram folder, or lately I've been really loving to thrift cookbooks. There's something about being able to look at a recipe right in front of you instead of having to scroll through your phone that I find so satisfying. But recipes like this I love so much because they are literally just one pan. You mix everything up, you pop it into the oven, and it is ready to be served. You don't need to make any extra sides. The potatoes soak in all of that lemony sauce and it tastes absolutely incredible. I like to bake it covered so that the chicken can really cook through, and then once I remove that, I roast it for a little bit more so it can get nice and crispy. And speaking of crispy, we gotta make our crispy chicken schnitzel. This is literally the Shabbat table staple, especially if I know that we have kids coming. Kids can be super picky when it comes to food, and I like to cook with a lot of flavors and spices, so I make this chicken schnitzel because it is really a hit with everybody. It's basically just fried chicken. And my secret is that I actually do a mix of panko and cornflake crumbs. I feel like this gives it the best crust, and this is also just your reminder that balance is good. I still try to make better choices when I can. For example, I never actually fully deep fry the chicken. It only coats the bottom side of it as I flip it over, and on top of that, if I am going to be frying, I always try to use avocado oil because it is a little bit better for you. I can never help but munch on these as I'm cooking them, and if we have any leftovers, they make the best chicken sandwiches for the rest of the week. Okay, main courses are done, and now I'm just gonna quickly set and forget a few of the sides. And why didn't you tell me that having a rice cooker is life-changing? It is so easy. You literally just press one button and you're done. On top of that, I really like to make a side of veggies as well. We went with green beans today, and I'm gonna be making my garlicky recipe, and my hack is to make it in the air fryer. This allows the beans to still stay crispy, but it gives them a little bit of that roasted flavor. Take some of the homemade croutons that I made, I grind them up and just sprinkle them right on top. Last week at my friend's Shabbat table, she made this incredible eggplant dip, and I was like, okay, please give me this recipe. So this was my first time making it, and it was actually super good and really easy too. You're just gonna take out the entire filling and zhuzh it up in a bowl with some mayo, some lemon, salt and pepper, and garlic, of course. Paired together with the challah bread, it is incredible. So that's everything I was able to make before Shabbat. There was a couple fresh salads that I made right before dinner as well, but for a full day's work in between doing this DIY, we did pretty good. We're just about ready to start, and Eliana just woke up from her nap, and she's gonna be with me as I go ahead and do this. I'm so excited to finally get into this entire stamp project. Put away the laser levels. You're not gonna need measuring tape or any of that kind of stuff. What I'm actually gonna use instead is spacers. These are little wooden blocks that you can totally order on Amazon according to the size that you want. I actually use these 6" by 6" spacers when I went to do my molding in my living room. And basically the thought process that I had is to do the same idea with the stamps. I'm basically gonna line this up against the wall and stamp right in the center of these spacers, moving along and keeping to do that pattern. That way I know that they are individually spaced out without actually having to mark up the wall, do any kind of crazy measurements or anything like that. In terms of paint color, like I said, I have 3 of the little samples left over for when I was choosing the paint for the playroom. And I have always really loved this honest blue color. It is so gorgeous, and it is definitely more blue saturated. So I think if I'm not gonna color drench a wall, I wanna use this as the accent. actually so in love. I did not expect it to turn out as good as it did. I mean, just take a look at how beautiful this looks. It actually looks like a wallpaper. I am tripping out. What is amazing, because of the fact that you do the stamp gradually, there are some flowers that come out darker than others, and I actually love that. This fading look gives it such a nice texture. And again, does this not look like a wallpaper? In the end, I ended up going with the 4-inch spacers. That is what gave me this tight look. And this thing, oh my gosh, it actually allowed me to fly through this so quickly. You just keep moving along and stamping as you go, and it's actually really fun and satisfying to do. Guys, that took me, I want to say 45 minutes to do 2 of these walls. Sounds like a lot of time, but honestly, putting up wallpaper I feel like would be so much more rough. I do still have this bit and this wall to complete, which I'm probably gonna do later tonight because I really want to move on to building my next thing before the sun sets. But okay, the next thing that we've got to swap is this little shaky, dingy, I think it was like a $12 clothing rack that I've had for years, and honestly it served me well. But at this point I wanted something that looked a little bit nicer in here, and basically I'm gonna be real with you, I really wanted more touches of gold in this room. So ideally I really wanted a gold clothing rack. The problem with buying like those ready gold clothing racks is that they look so fake gold. Do you know what I mean? This is basically what I got, and it didn't really have any images of a real life people using it, so I had no idea what it would look like. I am hoping ideally that it would kind of give off this kind of gold vibe, but in the case that it doesn't, I'm gonna DIY one myself instead. So we got one gold clothing rack and one black clothing rack that we can actually turn gold if the first one doesn't work. So let's see. What does God have in store for me today? Oh no. Oh no. All right, I think I have my answer. And my answer is we are gonna have to make our life a little bit harder, because this is exactly what I thought. It just looks so fake gold to me. Ugh. Like, you see what I mean? This is not giving gold, this is giving yellow. With how high shiny it is, it's definitely not that kind of gold. So I mean, I don't mind. If anything, this just gives me an opportunity to show you guys another DIY on how you can recreate something and make it gold yourself, because this looks like something I need to now do on my own. Alright, so the clothing rack is built, and as you guys can see, I didn't get this black because I wanted to keep it black. Black is like super intense and like not really the vibe of what I'm going for here, but I really loved the shape of this. So right over here, I have 2 of these, which are little like hat racks that go right on the sides, and I thought, okay, perfect opportunity to test out possibly painting it, making it gold, and oh my gosh, perfect. It's so perfect. My absolute favorite thing is to go ahead and use a rub and buff. Rub and buff is a metallic paint, but what I love about it is that it dries down really quickly and it doesn't scratch off. So the reason as to why this works so well is because even if I paint the top part where the hangers are constantly going to be scraping, it's not going to remove the color. But like you've seen in my previous DIYs, in order for you to get that like antique-y gold look, you want to make sure that you have a dark base underneath, whether that be black or dark brown, which is why I got the black, and it truly turned out perfect. I'm going to be using a mix of both antique gold and gold leaf to really give it that variation and gold look, and this paints on so quickly. I'm praying that these 2 little things are going to be enough to cover that entire clothing rack, but that's everything we're going to need, and hopefully this will become the clothing rack of my dreams. Two seconds and we got ourselves some antique gold looking pieces. Okay, you guys, I was fully joking when I said I was hoping to paint the entire rack with 1 tube, and like actually, I didn't even finish it. There's still like, I don't know, 20% in here. That little thing allowed me to paint the entire clothing rack, which I have to say, it's already looking pretty good, but the thing is, I really want this to look like genuine vintage brass. And if you look at any kind of real gold looking items, the thing that makes them look legit is dimension. The problem with so many fake gold items is that they're usually spray painted in one color, and you want to have a lot of different undertones tones and different glimmers when it comes to the gold. So for my base, I used antique gold rub and buff. And now I'm actually gonna go in with this metallic acrylic paint. You guys have seen me use it before. I just get it from Amazon, and what I really like about it is that this specifically actually has a slight green tinge to it, which whenever you look at any genuine brass, you see a little bit of oxidization, which tends to look green. So I'm gonna brush this on a little bit, and then I'm gonna top it off with a little bit of gold leaf, which is those small flecks of actual yellow gold that you see. And hopefully that's gonna make this look even more realistic, like true solid brass. Standing back, and guys, I love it. It is actually so perfect. It's exactly the tone that I wanted for the room, especially versus the black. But if you guys don't believe me, I just need to show you. This is the gold of the rack that I got before. Look at how yellow and how like fake it looks versus this. I feel like you can't even compare which one looks like more antique-y and genuine brass. I love the tone so much. It's especially going to complement all of the wood tones that we are going to thrift and add to this room. Now I just need to find myself some like really pretty hangers so that I can hang up my clothes in here, and I cannot wait to film in this room, you guys. Welcome back. It is officially the next morning. I spent my entire night finishing up this little stamped wallpaper, and I have to say, oh my gosh, it is actually perfect. I am so shocked at how well this turned out, and it looks like genuine wallpaper. I finished up this entire area, including this wall right over here, which I think is so cute. Now if I want to go ahead and take some photos, you can see that slight pattern in the back. And what I love so much is just like the slight discrepancy with each of the flowers, and some are more faded, which I think gives it such a cool vintage look. I mean, how gorgeous is that? The color we chose is perfect. I added my chair back too, and I just think that that slight blue contrast pulls so well because of this chair. And of course, I need to show you my clothing rack. I don't know why I didn't have this idea sooner. The brass is like so pretty. It is exactly the tone that I wanted. It now matches my lamp. It now matches my mirror. Everything just feels more cohesive. And last night I actually went ahead and bought a couple hangers as well. These are from Target. I really wanted hangers that had like a light wood tone instead of an orangey wood tone. And I like that the hook is also black instead of silver, because silver on top of gold, that would have really bugged me. So I got a few regular ones, as well as these hangers, which will be perfect for skirts and pants. I'm telling you, my try on thrift hauls are about to get such a glow up. And speaking of thrift hauls, that is actually exactly what I'm on my way to do. I am heading on into the thrift store, and I'm about to actually start filming my next video, which is going to be my come thrifts with me for home spring items. Blues, greens, I am loving them all right now, and we definitely need to add so much more into this room, which, oh, I can't believe I almost forgot to mention, this is an office, right? You're probably thinking, shouldn't an office have a desk? Well, I've mentioned to you the desk that I've had in the past, the dark wooden tone, it just didn't vibe with me. So I ended up selling that on Facebook Marketplace, and instead, on one of my 2 a.m. scrolls, I was able to come across literally my dream desk, you guys. This is the one that I ended up finding, and right after my thrift trip today, I'm actually heading on over to pick it up, which you need to stay tuned for. They actually went ahead, took this solid wood vintage desk, and painted it. My heart literally sinks whenever I see a beautiful piece of furniture that is painted. But if anything, that will actually just give me an opportunity to show you guys how I'm gonna strip it back down to its natural wood. I want to give it like a beautiful light chocolatey brown color that I think will look so nice in this room, and will be the first step in creating a little practical corner in this space that I can actually use for editing and for my workflow. So I'm picking up that desk today. The next vlog will have that DIY, and on my coming up thrift trip, you're gonna see me thrift so much decor that I'm gonna add into this room as well. Things to put on the wall, things to put on the desk, things to organize, other items that I want to have in here. But before I let you go, the one big piece of advice I need from you guys is regarding the rug. I don't know if I should keep this rug or if I should swap it out. You know me, I have like a rug saga going on. I constantly change my mind about rugs, but this one I truly love so much. I'm not getting rid of it. If I'm not going to put it in this room, I'm going to put it back in my living room for the spring. So taking a look at this rug right now, what do you guys think? Should I keep it? Should I swap it? If you want me to swap it for something, what kind of style rug do you think would look good in this room? If I inspired any of you guys to go ahead and do some of these DIYs, whether it be these stamps or repainting something into a beautiful gold finish, I'm actually going to leave everything I use down below in the description. Down there, you'll also find my Thrive Market link. If you guys want to get 30% off your first Thrive Market order plus a free gift, use that link. I'm telling you, 2026 is not only the year of DIYs and thrift flips for me, but it is the year of making healthier choices when it comes to snacks and groceries for both me and my family. And if you guys are watching up to this point, you know that you're the real MVPs. I love the ones who stick around all the way till the end. Truly, you are my favorite kind of people. If you are watching up to this point, then comment down below crafty gal, because truly I feel like such a crafty gal in today's video. Being able to do all of this with my own 2 hands made such a difference and cost us what, under $20 to make all these changes. Hopefully it inspires you guys to do the same. And with that, it is time to get my decorating on. So stay tuned for the next video where we can just fill this home with all that beautiful thrifted spring decor. I love you all forever and always. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one.